Good morning. I'm Brian King, Senior and Founding Pastor of Reignite Palm Springs and Bishop over the Reignite Ministries International Network of Churches. I'm here this morning instead of our typical virtual service. I can't say worship service. We haven't had worship since Johnny Burkhalter moved back to Atlanta. But this morning, instead of our traditional message, I wanted to give y'all a personal message from Reignite about where we're heading, where we've been, and where we're going. And that's that next week I want to invite all of you to join us next week. We're going to have a very different service. Next week is going to be the core members of the church that have survived the pandemic. And there's only 5 of us. We lost one this time last year. Next week, actually, one of our founding members took his own life. It's been a rough year for everybody in America and for the church as well. But next week we're going to get together and we're going to have kind of a round table. The 5 of us in the core are going to talk about where we've been, where we're going. We've had a lot of successes. We've done a lot of things right. We've gotten some things wrong though. And we're just going to, if you've been watching me for any length of time, there is no mask here. I am transparent. The whole core is going to be transparent. And we're just going to, unscripted, we're just going to sit here and talk about what's next and where we've been and where we're going. The reason we're doing that is because I got a word from the Lord several months back that we were to relaunch. And the time frame in my spirit was in May. So I have been pondering that, and I've gotten 2 confirmations now that what the Lord is speaking when He's telling me to relaunch is not just a relaunch as in we're going right back to where we left off, but a brand new beginning for us. So we're going to go back the way we started. Reignite Palm Springs, as of May 23rd, is going to become a home church. We're going to take this core of 5 people that we have left from the original church from the first Reignite Palm Springs, which, if you've been watching us, started out as New Covenant Palm Springs. We've got one of the prophetic words spoken over what's happening right now is the Lord says, a couple of years ago, He gave us a new covering. He said now He's going to build a new foundation. So I want to invite all of y'all to next week to join us here. We'll be here in this room with our core. And it's just going to be, I think, a very enlightening discussion and a very heartfelt. I'm sure there'll be a lot of laughter and probably some tears as well. So I'm inviting you to join us because that will be the last service that will be broadcast on YouTube or on Facebook until we launch back into a new building or back into the building we were in. The building we were in still is not going to be ready for several months. So we're just playing it by ear. God said relaunch. He said it's a rebirth. I've gotten confirmation from Houston and Venezuela on where we were headed. So I want to invite y'all. I want to thank you for those of you who have been watching us faithfully. And those of you who have been cheering us on, we are here. We're not going anywhere, but we're not going to be doing these services recorded and televised. Our experience in the past when we started in my home and Franco's in my home years ago was that those times in the house were very personal, very intimate, and very holy, and they're not something that we want to cheapen by recording. So we're going to rebuild the foundation for Reignite Palm Springs. Reignite Ministries International is going strong. Our church is Apostle Sven in Houston. He's growing by leaps and bounds. Our churches overseas are growing. We're adding. We're even now giving to ministries that aren't part of the Reignite International Network. So things are going amazingly well. But it's time to rebuild Palm Springs, and so I'm going to take my focus off of here and put it strictly into rebuilding Palm Springs. And like I said, for about 10 times now, join us next week, and then after that we'll be back probably in the fall with these televised or recorded messages, probably go live streaming at that time. God's given us some very specific details on where we're to go in the next 6 months. So bless you guys. I love you. And as always, this is Pastor Brian King for Reignite Ministries International and Reignite Palm Springs, wishing you all the blessing of shalom. May there be nothing missing, nothing broken in your lives. I love you all. Join us next week. Bye-bye.